Hello and welcome back to Invincible Asia. I'm George Clark and today I get to check out Heroes and Villains, a collection of Jet Li movies released on Blu-ray from Eureka Video. Don't forget folks, before we go any further, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, like the video and all that jibber jabber, and thank you very much for supporting Invincible Asia. Well, this is exciting. We're now getting into Jet Li territory. Now we've saturated the Jackie Chan market with everything that could possibly be out there, although there's still a few to come, don't get me wrong, but this is now the time for Jet Li, and there seems to be quite a rake of titles coming out from many distributors across the UK and others. But this is the collection of Heroes and Villains, 3 films of Jet Li's, 3 classics I have to say, including My Father is a Hero, Dr. Y and the Scripture with No Words, and Hitman, of course. Now, the first thing that jumps out on me here is that My Father is a Hero is called The Enforcer. This, of course, was the US title and Western release title for that amazing movie. I'm surprised that they've put it on here, considering that they've called Hitman Hitman and not Contract Killer, which was its Western title. But I'm also kind of thinking, was it just because of a space thing? Was this clearly down to a design thing? I really hate the title of The Enforcer, but because he's not really an enforcer in the movie, let's just say. But anyway, I'm quite enjoying this artwork. I am totally not a fan of box sets, and especially from Eureka. They've done this with Sammo Hung's movies and others. I don't feel that if those movies aren't connected, unlike, let's say, the In the Line of Duty collection or Tiger Cage collection from '88, things like that, or the Police Story trilogy, that they should be put out like this. I feel that these are titles that still would have done well on their own as a single release. Yes, some of you have talked to me before about being a space saving thing or money saving thing, but I still feel that there are a certain amount of movies that deserve their own release. My Father is a Hero is one of them, and Dr. Y I have always really enjoyed. I haven't watched it for maybe 15-20 years, and Hitman has kind of been middle ground for me, so I'm really hoping that these restorations on here totally changed my mind about these movies. Let me jump back though, of course, jump back to when it all started, and the first of these 3 movies that I would have seen I don't have anymore. That was a bootleg copy, of course, on video of My Father is a Hero. A very dodgy bootleg copy, if I remember correctly, very, very rough. God knows what generation it was ran off at, but still enough to really get me going, because it is an incredible, incredible film. Yes, there's a lot of wild Korean wire work there, but I still think for the two of them as a pairing, a working couple here, it is one of their finest action movies, without a doubt. Asian Heroes then released Dr. Y and the Scripture with No Words here on videotape way back in 1997, and of course was excited to finally pick this up. This is a Ching Soo-dong movie, plagued with problems from what I can remember, and there's 2 versions of it out there. I'm really hoping that they're both on here. You have the Hong Kong version, which this is. I do believe the director's cut contains different footage to the international version, and then you have the international version. But this here is the director's cut, runs for about 90 minutes, and then I upgraded that with one of their early DVD releases. I mean, it was a nice upgrade. Wasn't fantastic, there wasn't much, let's say, restoration in it as such, but it was still cool to have it on DVD. This is a very early DVD, 1999, and this comes with the director's cut again, but it also gives you bonus scenes, deleted scenes that were in the international version, which was a nice touch, I have to say, for an early DVD release. But another early DVD release was one of Hong Kong Legend's very, very first, and that was Hitman here. You can see Jet Li, Simon Yam, Eric Chang, Gigi Leung, directed by Stephen Tung Wai, and this was one of the first DVDs that I owned. I have to say, I think this and Drive, two of the first DVDs that I owned, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I have to say, I never felt that it was one of his best. But again, I'm really hoping that this restoration here gives me a new appreciation for this movie here, because again, this is like, I'm talking 15-20 years between watching any of these movies, like really. I did pick up Jet Li's The Enforcer on DVD. I did say I hated it, but when I managed the DVD store, I had put it up as an ex-rental, and I just thought I may as well get it for the collection. And yes, I have never watched it, I have to say. It only comes with its English language option, but I never did watch it because on DVD I already had My Father is a Hero. This is the Hong Kong release here, as you can see. This one, the English cut runs for 101 minutes and the Hong Kong cut at 103. Not much difference, I suppose, in it, but just to be able to see it in its original language with English subtitles was a treat for me. Was more important than seeing the English dub and that awful Dimension version of it there. And then I found it again from Amazon Germany, but it was renamed Jet Li is the Hero. My Father is the Hero. And again, this offered pretty much, I think, the Hong Kong cut, but it also gave you the English dub, it gave you a Cantonese language version, and it gave you English subtitles, which was a bonus. So for a few quid, literally, I just thought I wanted to get another version of it and see what was different about it, but also to see if the quality of this was any better than the Hong Kong quality. It was slightly, I have to say, it was definitely a better print. And then it gave you also some deleted scenes on there, which was pretty cool. But I think overall it was, yeah, it was cut. Yeah, 98 minutes. I knew it was cut. That's why there's deleted scenes, of course. But again, that's just kind of the three versions I have of My Father is a Hero. And now the fourth with this very, very nicely done artwork by Sam Ghibli. Anyway, let's get stuck in and enjoy Sam's work without the plastic and see what he has for us here. Very, very colourful. A nice wee mix of characters there. Again, no connection apart from its star, its production companies. Jesus, nearly dropped it. There's no real connection of these movies. And to be perfectly honest, before I get stuck into it, I feel that taking Dr. Y out of there and putting in Bodyguard from Beijing would have been a much better collection of movies, given that the Hitman and the Enforcer, or My Father's a Hero, had that same feel as Bodyguard from Beijing. Dr. Y is a completely different tone of movie altogether. It's closer in feel and tone to Once Upon a Time in China, with its style and how it's directed and how it's put across, with its action and its comedy and that, as it is to these other two movies there. So I feel, yes, that Bodyguard from Beijing would have been a better third movie in there altogether. But listen, not complaining, just glad that they are finally getting these restorations, getting out there on Blu-ray. There's still a lot more to come from Jet Li. I'm really hoping that we do see the likes of Bodyguard from Beijing, High Risk, Dragon Fight, and so many more coming out on their way, because there's a lot to love. Anyway, let's see what comes with this special Blu-ray edition. Give you another quick peek of that and then flip it round. I do like this. I think the colors and the artwork are pretty damn good. I think when you see them up close there, you'll be impressed. Anyway, limited edition slipcase featuring new artwork by Sam Gilby. Fuck, I'll get this right yet. I definitely need glasses. By Sam Gilby. Original Hong Kong theatrical cuts of all three films. Wonderful. The Enforcer. Presented from a new 4K restoration. Wonderful. Dr. Y in the Scripture with No Words. Presented from a new 2K restoration. Very good. And Hitman presented from an HD restoration of the original film elements. So no 2 or 4K restoration on Hitman, which is a shame, but still, to be able to get an HD restoration is wonderful. Original Cantonese audio tracks, optional English dubbed audio tracks, newly translated subtitles, alternate international presentation of Dr. Y in the Scripture with No Words, English and Mandarin audio options with that, alternate contract killer presentation of Hitman, don't really need to watch that, but I'm going to give it a go. Brand new audio commentaries on all 3 films by action cinema experts Mike Leader and Arne Venema. Brand new audio commentary on the international version of Dr. Y in the Scripture with No Words. It doesn't say who from, but I'm going to say Frank Jane. It forgot to mention who does that one. Deleted scene from The Enforcer. Archival interviews with producer Wong Jing, actor and martial artist Ken Lo, and actor Choi Mu on The Enforcer. The Smart and the Brave, an archival Jet Li featurette. Archival interviews with Jet Li, Simon Yam and Keiji Sato on Hitman. Archival footage from the premiere of Hitman. Trailers for all 3 films, plus a limited edition collector's booklet featuring new essays by Simon Abrams and David Desser. Region B, and 299 minutes in length. Wonderful. I mean, that absolutely, definitely straight up a double thumbs up for me. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot to love. I am enjoying this cover. I'm excited to see what the quality of these films are like because, yeah, I haven't seen a good Jet Li movie in some time now. I did go back and check out all the Once Upon a Times, of course, not too long ago when I got that Criterion box set, which is freaking amazing. But in terms of his more modern stuff, I haven't went back to these movies in some time, so I am excited. Anyway, oh, look at that. They have got the title of My Father is a Hero, and that cover, without even seeing what's on the other side, will be staying. I'm just stumped as to why they would call it The Enforcer. Don't understand it. Anyway, small gripes as always, but there's always going to be gripes with George, isn't there? Inside we have got, let me just fix these discs into shape here. Got the booklet over here, of course, and then all the discs lined up. It is a nice set. I do feel strongly that Bodyguard from Beijing would have been a better fit than Dr. Y. Absolutely. Okay, inside, let's see. Let's get this cover out. Oh no, I'll definitely be keeping this one. Okay, so My Father is a Hero with the text and pictures on the back, of course. And then on the other side, Dr. Y and the Scripture No Words and Hitman. Which is cool, but you know what? I'm keeping My Father as a Hero. I'm too proud of that title. I think it's a wonderful movie. I'm really excited to see this 4K restoration though, because fuck, wow. There's some beautiful cinematography in that movie, if I can remember correctly. There's some moments where it's like, it feels like it's like say On the Run with Yuen Biao or something like that. There's some neo-noir moments in there, and I really am excited to see what they've done with this restoration. Loving the blue light, the blue coloring that's running through this. Here's the front of the book, of course, and then on the other side, a wee shot of Jet Li from Dr. Y. Scenes are coming back to me from that movie. You know, it is great fun. It is pretty wild, but it is kind of like a wuxia movie to some degree. I think in reality, the only connection that I could put on these films, apart from Jet Li, of course, would be each of them would very much be like a live comic book, a live action comic book. They each have that ability to be pulled from the pages. There's something about all of them that has that. Anyway, let's have a look in here and see. It's the Hong Kong poster art for My Father's a Hero, also known as A Letter to Papa, I think, as well as The Enforcer, or maybe its translation is A Letter to Papa. Dr. Y, of course, plagued with problems. The set went on fire. They lost millions. They had to rewrite the script. They lost certain bits of footage. And I'm excited now to see what this international version does for it. Is it going to be any better? Is it going to be any more exciting than what they've done with the Hong Kong version? Because of course you've got that jumping from modern day where Jet Li's a writer writing about the Adventure Keen, and some of it made sense and it's a good idea, and it definitely has shades of Legend of Wisely, definitely based on the stories of Wisely from Ni Kuang, but also felt like, you know, like the myth with Jackie Chan, where he obviously jumps back and forth from modern time to that. And I feel there is something to like about that, but I'm hoping that this international version maybe gives us something a wee bit different. But this book is packed out and I am excited to see it there. Very nice, very, very nice. I'm going to get stuck into that over dinner and then before I watch these movies. And that's everything with that collection of heroes and villains. Couple of negative points there. I'm just being honest. I feel that had a bit more thought process, and perhaps the rights even was an issue there come up for Bodyguard from Beijing. I think that would have been a better third movie. Anyway, going to go check out as much of these as I possibly can. Obviously, it's going to take me quite a few hours, and I will be right back to let you know what I think. So, just back after checking out Heroes and Villains, the Jet Li collection, released on Blu-ray from Eureka Video, and this is a fantastic set piece. Of course, I complain that they're all put together there, and I'm sticking with that. I don't believe that unrelated films should be put into a box set like this or the Sammo Hung collection, but this was absolutely well worth the money. It is fantastic. And starting with The Enforcer, My Father is a Hero, that 4K restoration is fecking beautiful. It is just stunning. I mean, this film has never looked as good. Honestly, the cinematography in this is amazing. There's a particular scene that Mike and Arna even agree, in a sense. They talk about it and I agree with them. That particular scene in the alleyway, in the rain with the truck and the fight there, that neo-noir kind of cinematography to that is such an incredible scene. But there's a lot more throughout it that really, really comes to light because of this restoration. So does the wire work, because you see the wires a lot more because of that 4K restoration, but it is absolutely worth it. We know that Corey Yuen Kwai gets carried away, especially with Jet Li, gets carried away with his wire work. You only have to look at Romeo Must Die to see how bad it can get. But for me, this is some of Jet Li's best modern action, and Corey Yuen Kwai's. I feel that this is one of their best pairings for a modern action movie. Absolutely. It's just incredible. I love this movie so much. And again, this is absolutely, I will not go back to any other version of this movie from here on in. I will continue to watch this 4K version because it blew me away. I have to say, I'm probably the best on this collection without a doubt. Not to say the other two are terrible, but this was definitely the best for me. What do we got here? We've got the audio commentary. Watched it in its original language format, of course, and then with the audio commentary with Mike and Arna, which was fantastic to watch. Great to listen to, as always. Great fun. Great personal points from Mike there again, and again touching on the technical issues of how the movie came about, was made, and the actors. But definitely well worth checking out and well worth listening to for sure. The interview with Wong Jing runs for about 17 and a half minutes. 17 and a half minutes in length. It was pretty cool, delivered in English. Great fun to listen to. I do feel when he delivers these interviews in English that he's a bit more jovial about it. Whereas his interviews on the Royal Tramp, he was quite a bit more serious about the story and the filmmaking process there. But this one is a lot of fun, 17 and a half minutes. Then you have an interview with the adult version of Chi Mu, the kid star of My Father is a Hero, who is just incredible. I mean, I've always loved him. Of course, him and Jet starred together in New Legend of Shaolin before this, and he also did God of Gamblers Returns in between, and then Teenage Master, which kind of came out just after My Father is a Hero, and was released in some territories as the sequel to that, which is not, obviously it's not connected at all. But he gives another interview here as an adult. Seems like a lovely guy, very good looking. I mean, we know if you watched Hitman: The Awakening, or any other countless amounts of web movies that he has been in, he is absolutely a true kung fu star. He is phenomenal in every aspect, and I always thought so as a kid. Actor, he was brilliant, and he does blow me away in this. He wasn't an actor, but yet what he pulls off in New Legend of Shaolin and this really proves his worth there for sure. His interview runs for about 16 minutes, just over 16 minutes, but again, really in-depth, really good to listen to. I don't know if both those interviews were maybe taken from the Dragon Dynasty DVD release. I'm not 100% because I never did have that copy of it. But they are archival, as it says here. So perhaps they are. And then you've got Born to be Bad, the Ken Lo interview, which was fun. Interesting guy. Talks again from his the starting of his career with Jackie and into Hong Kong cinema and his movies and that. And very, very good to listen to again if you're interested in, obviously, in Ken Lo as an actor. I think he's a great guy. Always a villain that you really love to hate. And of course plays a bad guy in My Father the Hero. Runs for about 20 minutes in length. He does have the longer interview of the three there, which is great. Then you have a deleted scene, which is poor quality. I mean, it's pretty much reminded me of the bootleg video that I had previously, the very first time that I saw My Father as a Hero. It is a scene that I feel that I've seen before, and it could well be from that cut of that videotape that I did have. But it was, I mean, it's alright. It's good to have on there. It doesn't run too long. It's probably just under 2 minutes in length, which is fine. And then you've got a Hong Kong trailer on there, which is titled as A Letter to Papa, or A Letter to My Papa, which is I think the Chinese, or the English translation of the Chinese title. But it's fantastic quality. I mean, it's like HD restored, and it looks amazing, but runs for a good 4.5 minutes or so. It's quite a lengthy trailer, but definitely a great start to the set, and of course the first film date-wise that would come into play with this Heroes and Villains collection. So of course that is followed up with Dr. Y and the Scripture with No Words, the Indiana Jones inspired and wisely inspired movie from Ching Siu-tung, director Ching Siu-tung, who does a fantastic job. Now this movie, as I said, was plagued with problems and the set had burnt down, and there was two versions which are both on here, which I really enjoyed comparing. I have to say I'm going to go with the international version though. It definitely felt like a more solid movie, and Frank Jing also thinks the same. He also delivers an audio commentary on that, which was great to listen to. Very, very enjoyable. But for me, I think out of the two, and they both have a similar running time, the international version and the Hong Kong cut, which is the version, the Hong Kong cut has the modern scenes where Jet Li's a writer, and it goes back into, basically into the 1930s period there, where it kind of gives you his tale that he is writing, his serial adventures there. But I think for me, the international version, because it was all set in the 1930s, had a stronger story about it. A lot more scenes to enjoy as well. Definitely a lot more stuff in there that really just came across a lot more competent. A lot more. The Hong Kong version almost felt kind of like it was missing something. It almost felt like they were just making fun whenever the modern scenes would talk over it or narrate over it. But I feel with the international version, there's a stronger project altogether, which makes me wonder why they just didn't put that out as the Hong Kong version, as the overall general release, I suppose. But that said, the 2K restoration on both movies looks amazing. Now there are certain scenes and the unseen footage before the new footage for the international version cuts in throughout it in SD. It's still kind of cranked up a wee bit there, but it's not perfect. You'll see the difference when you're watching it. It's not off-putting, but at first you'll think there's a problem with your disc. It's really, really not. It's just certain frames of that international cut weren't able to be restored, I suppose, the same way as the Hong Kong edit. So they are put together quite well, and you will get used to seeing that quality drop, but it does make for a much stronger watch, I have to say. So then there's the special features, the Smart and the Brave. It's an archival piece, runs for just under 7 minutes in length. This is something I think I've seen before on an Eastern Heroes production somewhere along there, maybe a video release of, I think, Jet Li the early years or something like that. And it's footage of Jet Li, pretty poor quality footage, delivered in Chinese with English subtitles, but burnt in subtitles, of Jet as a child through to teenager and then into the likes of Shaolin Temple and that. So sort of following that period of his life, from being a wushu star to his first starring role, I guess. And then you have a restored HD trailer, which looks pretty cool. Very, very excited to see that. But yes, overall, another great addition to this set. The quality of both movies and both versions are fantastic, and so are the commentaries. They're definitely both worth listening to, although the international cut, I think, doesn't come with a Cantonese language option, only comes with a Mandarin language option. I don't know why I'm trying to think about it when it's right behind me. Whereas the Hong Kong version will obviously come with the Cantonese dub also there, as well as an English language options for both if you want. But yeah, another great addition. Don't think it fits the bill in this set at all, but I'm glad that it is in there. And that leaves us with Hitman, the final one of the pack, the 1998 production from director Stephen Tung-wai. It's not a DVD that I've ever went back to often, but after seeing it in its HD restoration, I have to say that the Hitman film has definitely climbed the ladder for me in Jet Li's top films. I have to, hasn't reached its top 10, don't get me wrong, but it has went up there. I thoroughly enjoyed this new HD restoration of the Hong Kong theatrical version. I tried watching The Contract Killer, the international version. I couldn't do it. I mean, the dub and the change in music, it just wasn't really working for me. I have to say the Hong Kong theatrical version is the better version, without a doubt. The American version kind of dumbs things down a wee bit. So I would say if you're getting this for the first time, check out that Hong Kong theatrical version. I watched it twice, Cantonese language of course with English subtitles, and then again with the commentary, from Mike Leader and Arna Venema, which was highly entertaining as usual, very informative and great to listen to. Allowed me to concentrate a lot more on fight scenes while they were talking about them also. So that is totally worth checking out and listening to whenever you get the chance to get your hands on this. The interviews on here are all the interviews from the Hong Kong Legends DVD. If you have that, you're not going to see anything different. The Jet one runs for about 11 minutes. Simon Yam's for about 8 minutes in length, and KG Sato's for about 14 minutes. Very, very nice guy, seems wonderful guy actually, very, very nice, and of course went on to star in quite a few Hong Kong films after that. Then you've got the opening night footage, runs for just over 11 minutes, delivered in 4:3 ratio, SD quality, very, very candid. Pretty much just a group of reporters hanging about a cinema lobby at the top of the escalators, waiting for any star or director to come up those stairs. So you will get snippets of Stephen Tung-wai, producer Gordon Chan, Simon Yam, KG Sato, even Elaine Loy from Iron Angels pops up there just for a pose and a I guess, to come and watch the movie. But then you've also got all the trailers on offer. So the Hong Kong trailer, SD quality, watchable. The English dub of the Hong Kong trailer, terrible quality. The Hong Kong Legends UK promotional trailer, very, very good quality. I quite enjoyed that. And then you've got the Contract Killer Dimension trailer, which is delivered in 4:3, SD quality, and kind of just left me feeling a bit meh about the movie. I would suggest, however, watching these 4 trailers first of all, before you go in to any version of the movie there, preferably the Hong Kong theatrical cut, please. You will enjoy it a lot more, trust me. But watch those trailers, then that HD restoration will really leap off the screen at you. But yes, that's it. That's for all of the heroes and villains set. All 3 films, incredible. As much as I don't like them being combined here and feel that Dr. Y doesn't fit, it was great to have all what is included here. The restorations look amazing, especially My Father is a Hero. The international version of Dr. Y, to finally see that, was brilliant. But overall, this absolutely gets a double thumbs up from me. Coming out soon from Eureka Video. Super glad that it is in my collection. Get yours while it's hot. So thank you once again for watching another video here on Invincible Asia. Don't forget you can check out hundreds of others here on the channel. You can also show your continued support by heading over to my new merch store or by checking out invincibleasia.com, where you can read my full movie reviews and follow me on Instagram @InvincibleAsia. Until next time though, enjoy your Kung Fu and I will see you soon.